Marvel Comics book readers remember Stan Lee. Wide 95. Wide.
I never had any idea that these characters would last this long. In fact, I and the people I worked with who co-created them with me, the many talented artists, we just hoped that the books would sell and we could continue to get our salary and be able to pay our rent.
What do you say, together, you and I, we go ahead and end my 218-match losing streak? Listen, that's really funny. You come out here with a lot of courage and a lot of enthusiasm. But let me tell you a cool fact, okay? You're a loser, just like every single person here. So I'm done wasting my time with you. Why don't you just get the hell out of Brooklyn, okay? Are you gonna hide behind that guitar and that goofy scarf? Or are you gonna fight me? And Elias now has Hawkins right where he wants him. There's Drift away. Kurt Hawkins tried. He is now 0 for his last 219.
Kurt Hawkins failed.
in his sanctuaries and mighty firmament, for his mighty acts according to his greatness. Praise him with the sound of the Les Paul guitar.
That's right.
Kurzweil PC3. Praise him with the sampler, native instrument software. Praise him with the mic. Let all that have breath praise the one true God. Now, it's been proven that sexual repression makes one angry, depressed, suicidal, to say the least.
Suicidal.
It's God's will.
But it's
God's will. The devil made me do it. But the Bible gives account of Allah forcing his will on people, making them do things, and later on judging them for obeying his will. What a mighty God we serve.
What a mighty
done
God
so much
we serve.
For me in my life, I have to praise him with all I can.
Praise him.
Sometimes I read the Bible like, damn Lord, that's effed up.
Word.
Better them than me. Many are called, but few are chosen. Even though you obey, you still go. To that place, it don't get cold. And sorry, son, you have the right clothing. The truth in life is unfolding. Watch get tactics, keep the church going. In the face of obvious opponents, I foolishly try to stay focused. Ignoring the contradictions and stuff that makes me ashamed to be Christian. Like all the biases and lynching, hate for others, controls and racism. Praise him for all the provisions like the pineal gland, the repetition, the guarantee that I believe in. Get the truth that set me free to a brand new prison. You don't hear me though. This is the DWI Torrent Download Remix, bringing you a detail. Many are called, but few are chosen. Even though you obey, you still go. To that place, it don't get cold. And sorry, son, you have the right clothing. The truth in life is unfolding. Watch get tactics, keep the church going. In the face of I can't read Hebrew, so I will be talking to you about Genesis, making them do things, and later on judging them for obeying his will. What a mighty God we serve.
What a mighty
done
God
so much
we serve.
For me in my life, I have to praise him with all I can.
Praise him.
Sometimes I read the Bible like, damn Lord, that's effed up.
Word.
Better them than me. Many are called, but few are chosen. Even though you obey, you still go. To that place, it don't get cold. And sorry, son, you have the right clothing. The truth in life is unfolding. Watch get tactics, keep the church going. In the face of obvious opponents, I foolishly try to stay focused. Ignoring the contradictions and stuff that makes me ashamed to be Christian. Like all the biases and lynching, hate for others, controls and racism. Praise him for all the provisions like the pineal gland, the repetition, the guarantee that I believe in. Get the truth that set me free to a brand new prison. You don't hear me though. This is the DWI Torrent Download Remix, bringing you a detailed reflection of true Christianity in which I was raised. Grace and peace, y'all. Niggas be coming up to me talking about Merry Christmas, like his name was Jesus Chris, or Xmas, like his name was Jesus X. Birth of the unconquerable Son. Then I called on the Lord, then sharp in the short, then tossed on the Jordan. Just Christmas time, so the kids get lied to. Then we get mad when we get lied to. Keep the connection, most never try. All results of the seas deep inside comes fight day and night. Rock nice night shanks, die for a title. Live suicidal, right? Just like in Africa, B-foot white dudes came with the lies to successfully blind who would fall for the trap well set by Christians who attacked, enslaved, raped and pillaged. Men back then had swords and crossblood, and now he be packing all types of cannons. Add strength to the long range assassins, push a few buttons, blow up the plan. Boom, when you was farmers, I had a plan. Wish you put this damn crop so damage your harvest. When you have what I don't, there's a problem that I'm solving with something revolving. The world keep evolving around the revolve. For this great equalizer is the great problem solver. Man used to only eat plants and fruits till he drew a spear and changed into a carnivore. Me by doing this, man became new. Slowly his brain grew. True. Plus he can keep warm and look cool in a new fur coat with yogurts to pursue growth. Ancestors man never knew, was planned but never do. Their dreams incredible. So Doug henchmen, place to be rich men, wanna get chips off drugs like Britain. Ain't got China to pay them big billions. What can you do when the plague took millions? How does blindness and carelessness connect to these plagues and nuclear disasters in Japan? It's gonna keep happening again and again, and the government will come in and try to pretend that it's not carelessness or plan. How many plagues like AIDS was created by man?
We meet again, Jesus.
You have blemished the meaning of Christmas for the last time, Kringle.
I bring happiness.
Take us the foxes, the little foxes that spoil the vine.
He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much.
Children, you remember how your parents told you about me and made you believe in me and made you believe in me. Then you found out I was just a made-up story. Made-up story.
This song is for all those who got the Prince of Peace but know no peace, and the man who benefits from man having thoughts, ideas, and suggestions can be your worst enemy or your best friend, and will control long term. The goal is short, a long-term life improvement. There's a man who was tired of fighting and thinking the Lord that the service is over, while another is on who loves the excitement of fighting the life of dying a soldier. And there's a man who spent years in prison who praises the Lord that the service is ended, while another man's free. His mission is to return to his home, which is prison. Some want to leave, others want to get in. The wise do what they can to never enter. Most we return to the past when injured, do the same thing but make a little different. Our minds on the battlefield, take no prisoner, influenced by what we see and listen to. Our parents, the teachers, media, the ministers, friends, the family, and stuff that the man in the mirror never lifted up.
Thoughts, ideas, and suggestions. Thoughts, ideas, and suggestions. The battle of the nine.
Thoughts, ideas, and suggestions can be your worst enemies or your best friend. The best friend, control the goal is short. A long-term life.
The mind is a battle. The mind is a battleground. The mind is a battleground. The mind is a battleground.
The battle of the nine.
It's a battleground.
The battle of the nine. The battle. Thoughts, ideas, and suggestions.
Thoughts, ideas, and suggestions can be your worst enemies or your best friends, and will control our decisions. Mold our opinions. Our goal is no one thinks different.
Thoughts, ideas, and suggestions. Thoughts, ideas, and suggestions.
It's a battleground.
Many of us should have been further along than we are right now. You should have overcome long ago, but still, after many years, you're still where you've always been. And we take captive every thought, for as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. You are the sum total of all your thoughts.
Based on the past and analyzations. We make miscalculations and just boomerang the things we run away from. It starts as a baby. Things we are told controls us, like Santa Claus and Jehovah. Now we are older and the media while the pains of life make us crave us to us happiness and buy a most of eating on the mountain sugar, sniffing coca, eating poison and melting, cause I know that my clock is ticking. Tell them my choices based on the level that I love me through the voices in my head say love or hate, beautiful or ugly, I like myself alive is not enough, it's not enough goes to be somewhere else. That's why I'm here blind, can't see a way out, cause I'm blinded. Everyone looking the same outside me, so I get it back. Every time I speak true faith in Christ is free in prison. Everyone somehow controlled by religion. Thoughts, ideas, and suggestions can be. This song for y'all need to change immediately or burn eternally. Specifically, gaze at those who think differently. Change your religion, lifestyle, and belief, or get ready for the beast. Now shut up while I preach. I'm on the Lord's balls, yes y'all, I'm gon' reppin'. No home till we're married in heaven. Word as the adopted sons of God, men and women all share one husband. Forget the old son God. Sometimes I can be a talking ass like Balaam. Cops try to arrest me for praising God naked in public places like David. The Bible isn't contradictory, it's just misunderstood. Can we give praise to the one who died and God raised from the grave after 3 days, not 72 hours, but 3 days, like Jonas? The math and that path to explain after when 6,000 years ago God made physical multiverse in 6 days. The dinosaurs, 2 ice ages, and home with the praise, but they didn't stay. I try to tell you Christ is the only way. If you think differently, then you are gonna pay. All other religions lead men astray, and so I'm zealous to restart the crusade. Check a psycho killer like Simon with a blade. I pray you obey Christ, cause you're a slave. No, yes, my life's a mess, stress and pain. So what? You may live better, but I live for the king. For the control brains, you don't need games, just repeated messages to strengthen the change. Men controlled by thoughts of heaven. The ultimate business is the ultimate weapon.
Christians are better than other people in the world. They have a brotherly love and a spirit of goodness and goodwill that doesn't exist in anyone who is not an adherent to the Christian faith.
It's very simple. If you don't believe exactly what I believe, you are wrong. And you're going to hell. Amen.
It says all Scripture is given by inspiration of God.
Think about it. Christians say that Jesus is the Messiah. Jews say that he's not. That he's not. But under no circumstance can they both be right. And when you die, you either go to heaven or hell, or you get reincarnated, or you go to astral worlds, or you lie in a grave, but you can't do them all at the same time. Common sense dictates when you look at religious claims, they're competing with each other. Somebody's got to be mistaken. It's life after death, the nature of God, the means of salvation. These are things that virtually all religions disagree on.
An agenda of political domination, because the people who adopt religion then have an authority in the name of God. In the name of God, that authority cannot be questioned.
I hope there is a heaven or hell or something that, there should be a payback, whether it's good or bad.
What I'm trying to do is show you your disease so you'll want the cure. As long as you deny you've got a disease, you'll never want the cure. I'm trying to convince you that morally you're diseased. Very hard to see. I don't want you to end up in hell. I want you to be forgiven. And God is forgiving, but there is a basis for his forgiveness.
Here we want to look at some similarities that we find in Christianity and in paganism. And what we have found may surprise you.
What I have found may surprise you. The goal is to make more disciples. The truth that I found in my right from the Bible, I keep by my side to defend only my view, only my views. Inside truth, what unifies will also divide you. If men no longer believe in a witness, not only want to destroy our business, but will disgrace us. So I recommend this track. Then please the remix and the OT murder all non-believers. Fight open name like Allah and Jesus, Sun God, Moon God, essence. So the law doesn't matter. Another word for disciple is pawn.
That's right. Y'all don't hear me though. Word. Now, I originally intended to write a fictional song called Conspiracy, filled with what-if scenarios that were inspired by my past preaching, but instead what ended up being written was this song. And I can only hope that one or two lines in it aren't true. I doubt that we do what we must to increase in the faith we profess. Amen. Now with that being said, David Winsands, aka the Tornado, will tell you the facts about church history. Ouroboros, nigga. Before I begin, we need to understand what ignites and expands the brain's pineal glands. Our physical nexus of God and man. What nexus, the complexness, well planned, well perfected, will keep men subjected from start to finish. It's all big business. First, government erected a census on the people was collected of all the pagan gods they respected, especially sun gods sent from heaven. Mixed the belief, peeps told the legends like an alchemist. Talcott said this was divine scripture, so central. Mixed in the faith guaranteed acceptance. This success is the first objective to control the masses. They must be connected. Since every man's different, keep the core values. Small differences, so we're all the same but all different. Muslims, Buddhists, Brahmins, Christians, men ready to die and kill, whose leaders are held in high prestige, unify, divide, and govern.
check it. When the first government erected and collected a census of the sun God we respected, based off Sumerian tablets they selected, rich men of high status and respected. Thus the rule of a canon is bent by the stories of fiction, but men still accepted and thus feel connected to God and protected. Evidence that proves it's false they won't check. Ever heard of fate is so embedded, innocence embedded. Man on earth is sinless, but bear witness, everything forgiveness. Tell a poor man that he can have riches. Tell a dying man that God can heal sickness. He dies in the hospital, quoting the script. With a test, only a few know the truth on religion. Outside this, that one, this one, but behind the veil, they're all one sister. One sister. Are different religions or faiths because there are different demographics. When you market a product, you have to keep that in mind. You don't hear me though. Let's go. When the first government erected, it attempted to rule by all measures. Most impressive men back then worship what they invented. Idols that were said to connect to the God from the heavens who came and blessed men. A divine sentence dare not be questioned. This excuse is used as a weapon. Disagree be forever tormented. Hell gives men the power that's relentless. The place bad men get theirs for endless. But it's not just them, it's other men. If they find lies inside of my scripture, I'm right, you're wrong, get the picture. Only a few know the truth from religion, and you're from the rule, but men won't listen, cause it's easier to give in. Fools choose to be blind by gimmicks. The government knew it needed something which couldn't control us while making them rich. So they fuse old school myths and legends, right? Thus the Christian religion was invented. Thus the Christian religion. That's how it really happened. Then the long-term effect, how over 97% of the planet believes in myths. Anyway, I'm ranting. Who will you believe, man or Allah? Choose ye this day.
All religions are the same as. I hope there is a heaven or hell or something. There should be a payback, whether it's good or bad.
Trust him who suffered for you and rose again on the third day.
You've spent so long trying to track down Lord. Well, here, enjoy.
So that the Easter Bunny can hide them!
Yeah, but why?
Stanley, Easter celebrates the day that Jesus was resurrected after being crucified for our sins.
So we dip eggs in colored vinegar and a giant rabbit hides them?
That's right.
You don't see the missteps in logic with that? Look, I'm just saying that somewhere between Jesus dying on the cross and a giant bunny hiding eggs, there seems to be a gap of information.
Easter Sunday, after church looking fly, time to jump in the ride, pushing 125 on the highway, crossroads, passing the drivers, truth-seeking flyers, followers, guys in the audio, Bible providing the vibe. My eyes are on him who chose to divide us. For this many was still unified, both guilty and innocent, killed by the tides. And after they died, whole families fried in hell. They took the sentences, this also applies. I was so unimpressed with the reason they died and tried to stress it, but deep inside, I just can't accept it. The senses applied. I'm worse than a skeptic. I'll never deny Christ resurrected to rest with his bride. The reason I question is why. Anyway, today you'll find the brand new human on the rise. First the old gets thrown to the side, then the new earth begins with men recombined. As a side note, Allah never told the prophets thou should not steal, kill, or covet when it was time to pillage. Proving his all great inventions, none can deny. Technology redefines mankind, and a cyborg Camaros. Here you'll find an era with chips added to your mind, so you won't wanna do crime. Now it's impossible to fall out of line. Let's celebrate the springtime sunshine for our goddess, like we did in the old time. In those days, the churches had us thinking the gods were behind the miracles, which kept us blind. And they flipped the script, but men got wise in a way. they gave us new bond, so Christ would abide in you with due time. And I feel like God's inside this place, but a priest gets paid, knowing it's all lies. The Council of Nicaea set the date of Easter as the Sunday after the full moon, which falls on or after the spring vernal equinox. Easter bunnies packing a nine, while the Nicaea Council wisely decides the wins and the whats, the wheres and the whys. Some men are inclined to believe it's divine, some go to hell serving God all their lives. Oh well, son, your religion ain't mine. Need I remind you that he is kind, and murders, masses, cuts, and soft mass, light in alignment, belt through Orion, 3 wide bend and a star in the east. None can deny these stories entwined, because they revive when calm in disguise. As the spring equinox we encipher, seed planted, spell chanting, the sun rises on the day resurrection arrives. On the day resurrection arrives.
No bunny knows Easter better than Cat Daddy.
I'm Ostara. I am free.
I am the sun god. I will rise and bring warmth to the earth. The days will grow longer.
To the ancients was the eternal rebirth of the sun.
Ed has died right here and now.
And I am privileged to be alive in the most important era in the history of the human race. The transition from Type 0
is a solar festival. The English and German words for Easter derived from the name Ostara.
Whereas Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of a huge fish, so the Son of Man will be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth.
And the last thing we need on Earth is socialized medicine. Jeesh. Can you imagine the chaos if everyone was able to see a doctor and didn't have to fill out reams of paperwork before they were denied a life-saving surgery because it costs money?
The naming of products often is a little too loose and creative. It's almost as if they're naming them based on what they hope you might imagine you're eating, rather than what's really in the box. Because a lot of times it's not in there. And then there's stuff that is in there that they don't want you to see on the label, so they don't put it on the label, such as propylene glycol. It's just like selling cigarettes. You're selling food that's harmful, and you want people to keep coming back, so you put in those chemicals that make them want it.
Not on that list, humans. How important is cloning technology? And should we be worried about evil clone armies in the future?
With the HAL 9000 computer, whom we learned one addresses as HAL.
No 9000 computer has ever made a mistake or distorted information. We are all, by any practical definition of the words, foolproof and incapable of error.
How, despite your enormous intellect, are you ever frustrated by your dependence on people?
Not in the slightest bit. I am putting myself to the fullest possible use, which is all I think that any conscious entity can ever hope to do.
In talking to the computer, one gets the sense that he is capable of emotional.
They're gonna go crazy now that they heard you say that. They're gonna go crazy. They're gonna go out there and think they can do everything. No, they're going crazy because they didn't know the truth. They're going crazy because we have never told them the truth. We've been lying on the pulpit all this time. They're not gonna go crazy because once you realize when you believe the right thing, you can live the right way.
People who bear excessive shame as a psychological wound often have difficulty with self-love. Do you love yourself? Do you really love yourself? What does that mean? And how can you tell?
So let's see where we go from here. Let's start with a definition of Kabbalah and see what that definition is and where it can lead us. Kabbalah is a wisdom, a science that enables man to feel and know an upper reality. This is how it addresses the purpose of life, but of course it brings up questions. What is a person? What is a man? What is an upper reality? And what is it that enables a person to feel, know, and enter?
There's a common thread that runs through all of our pain and our suffering, and that is unworthiness. Not feeling worthy enough to own the life you were created for. Even people who believe they deserve to be happy and have nice things often don't feel worthy once they have them. Is that a real problem? A feeling of unworthiness? Our mindset tells us that God is a God that provides answers. God is a God that is there to help me through my tough times.
Who am I? Who are you carrying all those bricks for? God? Is that it? God? Well, I tell you, let me give you a little inside information about God. God likes to watch. Think about it. He gives man instincts. He gives you this extraordinary gift, and then what does he do? For his own amusement, he sets the rules in opposition. It's the goof of all time. Look, but don't touch. Touch, but don't taste. Taste, don't swallow. And while you're jumping from one foot to the next, what is he doing? He's laughing his ass off. Worship that.
Rational arguments don't usually work on religious people. Otherwise, there would be no religious people.
What's the fun in that? A finite, unmysterious universe.
It's not about fun. It's about the truth.
La 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 la.
Government is trying to kill you! They want to harvest your dead body and turn it into cheese!
And since we're right here in Anaheim, California, Booker T, you show up tonight with Miss McMahon and you got your security guards. So you can sit up there in your stupid little skybox and you can watch Stone Cold Steve Austin kick the crap out of Y2J in a steel cage.
If he be the true Son of God, he will defend him. Let us condemn him to a most shameful death, for there shall be respect had unto him by his words. These things they thought.
You can go up and down the world and you will find that each individual has certain opinions of his own, and he is far more concerned with sustaining these opinions than he is in the search for truth.
Well, I'm an amazingly capable humanoid robot. Can I help you?
A good bit of the Dogon star and calendar system centers around Sirius. Sirius is the brightest star in the heavens. This is a great time at this time of year to see it. Look at the southern heavens right about now. Look for Orion, and look for the three belts of Orion, and follow it right down, and there's Sirius.
Einstein said the speed of light is the ultimate speed limit. But you see, we have to go beyond Einstein. We have to go to the general theory of relativity, where it is possible you might be able to go faster than the speed of light. Speed of light. And even beyond. La 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 la.
Government is trying to kill you! They want to harvest your dead body and turn it into cheese!
And since we're right here in Anaheim, California, Booker T, you show up tonight with Miss McMahon and you got your security guards. So you can sit up there in your stupid little skybox and you can watch Stone Cold Steve Austin kick the crap out of Y2J in a steel cage.
If he be the true Son of God, he will defend him. Let us condemn him to a most shameful death, for there shall be respect had unto him by his words. These things they thought.
You can go up and down the world and you will find that each individual has certain opinions of his own, and he is far more concerned with sustaining these opinions than he is in the search for truth.
Well, I'm an amazingly capable humanoid robot. Can I help you?
A good bit of the Dogon star and calendar system centers around Sirius. Sirius is the brightest star in the heavens. This is a great time at this time of year to see it. Look at the southern heavens right about now. Look for Orion, and look for the three belts of Orion, and follow it right down, and there's Sirius.
Einstein said the speed of light is the ultimate speed limit. But you see, we have to go beyond Einstein. We have to go to the general theory of relativity, where it is possible you might be able to go faster than the speed of light. And even beyond that.
Ain't like driving a UFO, is it, Mr. Alien?
Nah, I don't crash those. We
Illuminati. I know the truth about
Club Mason at 9. Yo, beware of the great alien. Let's go.
So you could've dealt with the aliens looking like humans, but straight chameleons. The world's top families, all reptilians, Illuminati secrets, the cameras revealing them. This just keeps the truth hidden. So man relies on religion, whose enterprise is division. The founder of lies keeps truth forbidden. But now the new earth beginning. Cybers and bots existing. It wasn't possible, isn't it? Technology, man, excels its limits. In 200 years of living, man did more than in millions, and thus laid down the foundation who gave me the key to space exploration. It's time.
Take a stand. You ain't taking my sperm, nigga. Forget that. You know what I witnessed. You're a sperm mix for any other flock of sheep. I can't duck plasma or buckshot to heat. The graffiti, tablet, hieroglyphics show Christ died for all made in his image. From planet to planet after the beginning. Aliens drew pictures of the scriptures. Man, same scriptures with different names. And this is a link in the chain. Get it? This is why things can seem like BS. We can't see the bigger picture using our feeble intelligence, which makes things appear questionable. Please,
aliens visited us in ancient times. Don't let the grays escape to their ship.
Don't let the grays escape to the ship. Like speed ain't swift enough for this trip. Stay right there. Do one more skip the distance of light years and minutes from marriage to a cypress and God's a light. We're along with a few lines that this rhyme is built. We fail to shake the blindness of facts and science.
We arrogantly believe that humans are the only beings created in God's image. This ignorance is why all the alien races wipe themselves out, and we're the only ones left.
No thanks. I already know. Need money to stop aliens from invading Earth. Can you donate money to fight the aliens? Stop the messenger, but you aliens can't stop the message.
Discovery is now running off its 3 onboard fuel cells. Coming up on a go where all the signals start. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, start, 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions.
Introduction to my creation, reproduction of my fixations, deconstruction, the transmutations, a brief deduction of all foundations. This is a dedication to the greatest of scholars, to those without education. I speak to the few who know entertaining is the same thing as educating. Anyone walking this path with dedication to master a craft brings mass jubilation. I live all I have through the gems I'm making and raps to the dads of all creations.
We have just left the Earth's atmosphere. We did experience some turbulence, but we are back on course and should be reaching our destination shortly.
Challenge every day, challenge every answer. More questions, you follow the challenge. Everything is the model. And the name of the album, nigga, this is an introduction to my creation, a reproduction of my fixation, from deconstructions, transmutations, deduction of all foundation. This is a dedication to my great friends, my family who've been there on many occasions, using the words in my rapping to thank me. I look back at those I lost in the grave, and the torch gets passed to the next generation. The first becomes last, but that's at revelation. I search for the facts in all situations, rapping on tracks to attract stimulations and help others fight off the traps that enslave men. We all fall back with short, but that's base truth. Now life scars must get replaced while I'm born with the path of personal greatness.
And one small step for man,
Diane, please. For me, okay. Oh, that looks beautiful.
Change everything.
It has a stark beauty all its own. It's like much of the high desert of the United
Deconstruction and transmutation are the foundations of all existence. Every form of creation and preservation is based on this process of transmuting the base metal of life, stone, into gold. You gotta build your own philosopher's stone. Ain't nobody gonna give you one. They ain't sold on eBay or Walmart. Trust me, I ordered like 8 so far, all fakes. Anyway, what I'm talking about is the learning process, the molding of an object, the philosopher's stone of the prophet. Give me that learning process, the molding of an object. But you need a pound or a dime. I got that eardrum coat, musical sedations, uncut dope for your relaxation. Notes and hopes, illustrations, dreams and goals for those who cry for the nation. We live and die in a few leaf exclamations. Both of us just try to keep time wasted. Only a few find true elevation and fly through time to space exploration. True ecstasy is not a pill or sex. Listen to Saturn and magical sex. You'll find some keys in there. Magical. Anyway, it's my honor and duty to present this introduction to my creations, a reproduction of my fixations. First deconstruction, then transmutation, brief deduction of all foundation. This is the dedication, those aiming, reshaping humanity for the fashions, and those who work hard at life-saving, died for the future to stand like change. Some got long-term goals that's groundbreaking, like time travel molecule teleportation. I speak to addicts of information, tracking to inspiration, holding the gadget. First is depth and reconfiguration. The transmuted soul gets reincarnation. Base metals to gold manifestation. The story unfolds purification. Frequencies align on unification. With freeze the mind, intoxications, blocks frustrations, unlock transformations. I runs non-stop for the prize winner race. Encompass scriptures of organizations, cause enigmas are based on affiliations. You don't hear me though. As another learning process begins. The motto, challenge everything. And this is the introduction. Grace and peace, y'all. David Winsans. What led to the mathematical equation that's your current beliefs? Are you afraid of information that would make you change those beliefs? Does your thinking change with new information? Ladies, gentlemen, aliens, and anyone else present, it is my honor to present Challenge Everything, an unbiased compilation of contrasting beliefs based on science, religion, history, and philosophy, an open discussion in which different views are welcome, definitely examined for the purpose of discovering truth, in which I'll say some things I do and don't believe. Ready up. Bucks, beats, riding. I like to give shout outs to Naomi, Rob, Bad Love, Pete Drums, and the rest of the Church of the Revelation band for their direct assistance on this album. To George Lightweight for showing me art can be expression. To Angelica Monica for introducing me to Photoshop. To the definitive Q-Dubs and the beat barbarian Jimbo introduced me to video. I like to also thank all the angry, racist, biased Christian robots out there. Give a shout out to my mom and pop, Candace and Chaos. And while I'm ranting, I like to dedicate this album to the men and women who have either achieved greatness and set the path for others, and or are the ones on the path for personal greatness. This is David Winsands, aka the Tornado, reminding you, how do we know anything we know is true unless we challenge it? Yeah. DWI. This brief intermission is dedicated to my mama and my kid. Two beautiful black females. See, we all got family members, but sometimes those people ain't our friends. So I thank you too, because the way you love a person is more important than the name they are given in relation to you. Now, I can get all philosophical on this subject, but that's for the next album. Today is June 15th, 2013, and this is the final recording of Challenge Everything, which has nothing to do with the subject. So, on that note, I just want to say I love you very much and thank you.
Hey baby, what's up? Yeah, I was watching something with Steven Seagal.
No Hey Pastor K today?
No, I didn't bring the laptop because I wasn't coming straight home. But I guess I can go on
everything was going according to plan. I bought some survival food for the fam. To start thinking about when God sent the famine. See, the prophet spoke and family listened. So some starved to death while they became rich. Man, I try to warn you, nowadays ain't different. And Romans 13 reminded that this is what God placed in position. Do resist cause it's sin, don't resist him. Please get submissive, word is the gift. Men give for Christmas while we form my nigga to deliver. No bleeding masks, over, found imports, video electricity, died which led me to the break-in, calling Con Ed. But the cell and the house phone was the dead. So I chilled out with my mom in the crib and talked about the blackout in the 70s. Did we read songs to get a grip? She next said, big wealth is the enemy. I've had blackouts before, and the remedy is just waited out, dependent on them heavily on 3 weeks later, and it's still here, and I'm willing to do anything to any mayhem. Organized destruction and induction, but just the introduction. Since all work for his glorious plan, and I don't understand, I put faith in I am. Parents do what they must do for the family. 3 months deep into global calamity. The levels of desperation grow rapidly. Niggas will kill for a meal, eating happily. Give me that for what's yours is the law and it's anarchy. We are at war with the rest of humanity. From the poor man to the one called your majesty. We are all in the same boat, plan tragic word mayhem. Organized destruction and induction, but just the introduction. Since all work for his glorious plan, when I don't understand, I put faith in I am, that's mayhem. Organized destruction, mayhem. Just the introduction, mayhem. His glorious plan, when I don't understand, 7 months later, don't know if I can make it. I'm starving to death and literally naked. Burn everything this day warm that I gave, which I once worked hard for. And the drink is falling asleep, seeing light, then awake, and the way strong, healthy, government agent took me to a place which had to a place where so I obeyed him, obeyed him. Organized instruction, but just the introduction.
introduction. Since all work for his glorious plan, when I don't understand, I put faith in I am not mayhem, or not destruction. Mayhem, just the introduction. And mayhem, his glorious plan. When I don't understand, I put faith in I am. That's mayhem. Just put my faith in the Lord. Mayhem, I don't gotta understand. Mayhem. When I don't understand, I put faith in I am. Thoughts, ideas, and suggestions can be man's worst enemies or his best friend. Will he be wise so he knows when to question, knows when to ignore, knows when to listen? Will his whole life be this vain repetition? Will he fear change and remain suspicious? Will he love things that are gained but pretending that something is real and the love or friendship? Chasing the flame to assume position. Every issue is the same. There's no difference, and I ain't changed. I'm still hard-headed. Going through the pain of the things I regret, which have made me insane. So my brain's my detention, making my mind flame over the present. Dressing in shame, trying to be a Christian. This is a pain.
The important thing is, how do other people feel about you? It's not so much about how you feel about yourself. In fact, people often do go their whole life becoming masters of how to be liked by other people, how to get other people to care about them. But there are people who know that the less you love yourself, the easier you will be to control and influence. And so you have to get comfortable with knowing that you are worth becoming yourself. Instinctual drives to be liked by others at the expense of your own congruence
can be man's worst enemies or best friends. We act like enemies, yet we are best friends. There's no love lost, no love, no presence. Some bonds, what ends quick, fake enough, I'll extend it. Some relations, all but just sent yourself. Went back to after my sentence. Now I can't function outside, now I can't function outside me in the same condition. Proof that falling in love is horrific, and friends ain't friends anymore, it just ended. And families turning their back on me, flipping angrily, controlled by tradition. Life's vote to a full definition. Sometimes it's just to pay bills in submission. To job or whatever position, the stress transmutes into ammunition that I use to abuse with ambition. If falsely accused, my views are twisted. Get it married or hide or run to keep this. Gotta have no self-respect and hit skills quick. Ignore and attack cause I'm different. Facts in the Bible in opposition. I just wanna be that real man who live in a dream come true. Vision, television, the media, schools, and all religion have one mission, worldwide dominion, controlling our minds so we stay interrupted, just like the master does to his puppets.
And we take captive what? Every thought. For as he thinketh in his heart, what is it? So is he. What are you? You are the sum total of all your thoughts, ideas, and suggestions. Knowledge and its proper use wins battle.
That's why we married after 2 and 2. That's why our lives in such distress. Work hard to escape but only repeat. That's why we always unsober, and while we are free in between the sheets. That's why we praise Christ and become more soldiers for love and fulfillment and reason for season.
The battle of the mind, our thought life. What do you think about? How do you marshal your thoughts? Who controls your thought? Who influences your thought? Because whoever influences your thought will influence your talk, will influence your action. Thoughts, ideas, and suggestions.
Once upon a time, there was this slave master who obviously had many slaves, but there was this problem. The master wanted the slaves to bale 100 pounds of hay a day, knowing that
fit and dedicated slave could only pull 20 pounds max. This made the master angry, and he would often severely punish the slaves for not meeting this impossible quota, until one day, in the form of a slave, the son of the master makes the impossible quota. The son of the master is also a living God, but we're taught this gave him no advantage over the other slaves. The interesting part about the story is that the master created the slave, only giving him the ability to bale 20 pounds of hay at best. From love to mercy, to wrath and tyranny, the divine attributes of God passed down to man, from unjustly murdering the innocent for personal glory, to providing food, clothing, and shelter to others in need. Man is so like his creator, it's incredible, but he gets punished for this often, which leads to the work of Christ and the resurrection. Now, in this parable, the impossible quota of 100 pounds of hay per day was the law. The slave master was obviously God, the sun god Jesus, the other slaves, and all of humanity. And when Christ made the quota, the dispensation of grace began. The day starts off with praise to the Prince of Peace with the double-edged blade in his teeth. The one who provides life and died to redeem, resurrected, and ascended to the King. The one who is strong when we are weak. The one we lean on in time to get deep. The answer to questions that never get answered. True love manifested creation through speech. The one who requested Satan to test his child with aggressive, ruthless meshes. See, God wanted to prove a point to Satan. So one day, when they had a conversation, the devil was given open invitation. But no matter what, Job kept raising as God's all knowing. There's no question that there is no logical reason for testing. That's why I feel so crazy. I feel so crazy. It's like crazy is too crazy. It's like crazy too crazy. Instead of letting liars teach me the Bible, I feel so crazy to learn it myself. I speak the truth like crazy too crazy. For 400 years they prayed to the Father for freedom, but time made their faith weak. They seek peace yet only receive peace. The words of the prophet was hard to believe. With Moses and Aaron and Pharaoh were speaking, God sends plagues on the people of Egypt as punishment for Pharaoh not releasing the children of God, while God kept increasing the hardness of hearts. This was so. More miracles could be done by God to show off. Next Passover starts. God's murdering innocent firstborn, just like Dave's babe who suffered, and 70K plus who died in wonder. Pharaoh gave up and wanted to chill. God hardened his heart more against his will to start chasing down Israel, which leads to his army getting killed. Next came the greatest miracle ever, walking aimlessly 40 years in the desert. Then God, in his genius and splendor, gave him the law because he couldn't keep it, which gave death when they received it. In God's name they pillage heathens.
Did you see that it's ready fried?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yes, it's because the Pharaoh won't give the Hebrews what we want. God is angry, and if Pharaoh doesn't give us what we want, next he's gonna kill all Egyptian firstborn boys.
Different religion happened.
Okay, look, I'll talk to the Pharaoh and see if he'll change his
Ain't gonna do you no good,
It doesn't
nigga.
matter, because God is going to harden Pharaoh's heart. That means it means Jehovah's going to use his powers to keep the Pharaoh from letting us go.
That's right.
Well, that doesn't seem very fair. I mean, if
Not
God's
at
going
all.
to make Pharaoh say no, then why would he
No
punish
matter
him
what
saying
happens, we can't
I
let
know.
ourselves believe in the Hebrew version of God. We believe in a just Lord who would never murder innocent children.
You niggas worship the wrong God, then. There's none greater than the God I'm serving, all-knowing, so all that's done on purpose is unjust for humans to murder. But when God doesn't, we use different words, for God gives all authority positions, from the presidents to David and Hitler, and is religious intolerance, visible, the invisible evidence. What science proves the Bible is fake. All religions are different but the same. Yes, genres and stories like video games, but all one system controlling our brains. So you'll remain quicksand treadmill. Failure who think he's a blessed soul. Even the few who are successful, are lost with and without Christ. The day starts off with praise to the prince.
I've been in this game for years.
The fundamental need of every living being is to love and to be loved, which means the inherent nature of every living being is we are seeking pleasure.
Does life have meaning? Does life have meaning, or do we just make it up? What is my purpose?
Everyone wants to justify their right to exist. Nobody wants to live their life without purpose. Nobody wants to think that their life is counting toward nothing. We all want to justify our existence, and so we look to many different things to find the justification for why I exist. What is your purpose for existing? If you're honest with yourself, and if you were to ask somebody that question, their answer is going to involve something that they do or something that they are that brings significance to their life.
Word. Y'all hear me though? Let's go. First come the thought inclination, then go to walk and of course conversation. Seeds in the heart transplant. To connect the dots in this song, you'll need some basic knowledge of the Kabbalah, the Book of Genesis, quantum physics, and the age of antiquity. Then, after that, it's all basic mathematics. First there are three, one with a purpose. Then come the massive celestial servants. Next the Elohim demiurges came after the master. Laid down the surface. The plan was first make universes, then put beings on planets to worship the one true God, whose anger had risen, and men would follow different religions, often talking in angels or aliens, walking with them, building pyramids. God's justice on this aggressive, he vexed ascendant, knowing where the message, so he told his family there won't be a war. No, God's outpouring his merciless wrath. The flag will smash all in his path, destroying the crafts men loved in the past, and all the dark arts passed from Atlantis, which had corrupted the Jewish white magic. The Lord knew the first wife he gave Adam wasn't gonna let eating from that tree happen, but she got kicked to the left standing boldly for the rights of all women. Adam's given a new wife who's submissive, and the birth is getting a second beginning. Read Genesis, the world is coming to an end, but also to a new beginning. Read Genesis, the world is coming to an end, but also to a new beginning. Now, God and man are a constant. He's given the earth and told the subdue him and Eve, chewing forbidden fruit. Right in the garden, their eyes were open to truth when they kicked God out of Eden, removed him. Eve was the bait in this game of illusions. Check this, Eve seed lead down to Jesus. Due to the system of sin, this is needed. The primate man on earth never needed a savior, atonement of God to believe. No one for this reason Allah got heated, never revealed himself to these men. Some use magic and underground caves to survive the madness and live another day, preserving on tablets and knowledge they had gained so back. Niggas still grasp it today from a master crafter.
dark arcane, then pass the torch to disciples who claim bear the torch. Observation of the rule, right? The current man of today is just a fool. This is why dependence is dependence. Man guaranteed to fall when he moves. This in hell ensures me and you want to read Genesis, the creature made new. Get it? Genesis, the world is coming to an end.
Hey, you! Yeah, all of you! Look at me when I'm speaking to you. You understand me? You're doomed. You're doomed. You're all doomed. Your life of sin is over. Understand? It's over. You have two choices, folks. You have two choices. You can repent and be punished, or you can live waiting for hellfire. You will live waiting for hellfire. Be burned in the hellfire. That's what I'm saying to you. Yours is a life of sin. Yeah. You're all evil. You seem happy, but happiness is not of this world. Happiness is of the devil. Happiness is for the weak. See, only the chosen ones suffer. Now listen to me now. Hear me now. Hear me now. You listening? Yeah. I don't mind being the voice in the dark. I don't mind being the lone voice. So hear my words, people. Hear my words. You're doomed. You're all doomed. Now don't pretend that nobody told you when the fire is. Come in here and start licking at your feet. Alright? Don't pretend that. You heard me. You're doomed. You're all. You need a leader. Look, I am a leader. So follow me. Follow me into the fire.
Nem puskas vēl nemon, serve blood on, serve the blood on. Do you not know that wrongdoers will not inherit the kingdom of God? Do not be deceived, neither the sexually immoral, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor men who have sex with men, nor thieves, nor the greedy, nor drunkards, nor slanderers, nor swindlers will inherit the kingdom of God. And that is what some of you were. But you were washed. You were sanctified. You were justified in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ and by the Spirit of our God. I say, it is good for them to stay unmarried as I do. But if they cannot control themselves, they should marry. For it is better to marry than to burn with passion.
In a similar way, Sodom and Gomorrah and the surrounding towns gave themselves up to sexual immorality and perversion. They serve as an example of those who suffered the punishment of eternal fire.
Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day.
They are godless men who change the grace of our God into a license for immorality.
It is good for a man not to have sexual relations with a woman.
It is good for a man not to touch a woman. Not to touch a woman.
That's weird. That's weird, stupid. That's weird, stupid. I'm selling out for it.
Heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked.
As an example of those who suffer the punishment of In a similar way, Sodom and Gomorrah serve as an example of those who suffer the punishment of eternal fire.
I say, it is good to stay unmarried as I do. But if they
cannot control themselves, they should marry. For it is better to marry than to burn with passion, not to have sexual relations.
And the surrounding towns gave themselves up to sexual immorality, and to offer your bodies as living sacrifices holy and pleasing to God.
People above all, and
It is good for a man not to have sexual relations with a woman.
To offer your bodies as living sacrifices, holy and pleasing to God. To offer your bodies as living sacrifices, holy and pleasing.
It's good for a man not to touch a woman.
Because we are new creations. We know the truth. Set us free. We may feel trapped, lost, while we are found. How can a man love himself, knowing what it says in the Bible about him? So we thank God the Bible isn't about man, but God.
You were sanctified. You were sanctified. You were sanctified.
Offer your bodies as living sacrifices, holy and pleasing.
That wrongdoers do not inherit.
You will now hear a sermon from Pastor Phillips. For those of you who are new to camp, Pastor Phillips is somebody who has broken free of the bonds that afflict you.
He's not curious too?
Not anymore, because Pastor Phillips prayed, and by the hand of Jesus Christ, he's now completely cured. Let's hear it for Pastor Phillips, kids. Hello, campers! Yes, believe it or not, I myself used to have unclean urges, and like a lot of you, I thought I was just made that way, that I didn't have a choice. But then I realized that God didn't want me to be that way. God wanted me to be a man. So I buckled up in my little suit and I prayed to be normal, and guess what? It worked! That's right, kids. You see, right now you're like a paperclip. And just like a paperclip, God needs to bend you and shape you and make you
offer your bodies as
make you great.
Living sacrifices, holy and pleasing to God.
Make you great. And make you great. God wanted me to be a man. God wanted me to be a man.
This song is for all those who can say falling in love and sexual desire destroy their life, you see. I don't care what doctors or thousands of years of scientific research has proven to be true. What does the Bible have to say? I'll tell you a childhood story of excellence with secrets, turnouts and fun experiments. A time in my life I define as one of one family, a friend like them. Dreams coming true. Nothing mad on earth with my lust, nothing mad. We were kids when with the sucker who got used like gum. That's no more punishing, so I kinda got over it and chased another to try to find self-worth in another. I live in denial I've passed love to this. Sometimes I wonder if my seed of desire is rooted in what I discovered in the Bible. Spawn anger, make men suicidal, violent, stress, depressed, self-rifle. Then to the high school where I learned that was hard to not to my ass with a label, curve, dissing me. The guys who get what they want, then treat them like dirt. And even though this was second, third grade, it's my love life story.
To offer your bodies as living sacrifices,
as a living sacrifice, never
pleasing to God, in a similar way, Sodom and Gomorrah and the surrounding towns gave themselves up to sexual immorality and perversion. They serve as an example of those who suffered.
Let's go.
For the punishment of
Because I've done that I thought I need a good girl, but want a bad bitch. Someone to punish me while having fun, having slaughter and come raw chocolate. We have sex, but God conduct. Don't let it happen, let it happen. I praise him often after the devastation, caused by this frustration. Keeps me embracing that word he faded about. One day I'm thanking him for the heartbreak. Next day I'm chasing the skirt. Time wasted, I hate masturbating. I hate when I next day sleep. Indirectly risk taking. Pain sometimes drives things alone. Other times I die for my queen on my throne. At least can we bone raw? Please stay against that old child. I learned how sex is sex. And being raised in the church in the mix in the time. Time came, Missy K addict, out of control. Maniac that's trying to get gone before death.
It is good for a man not to have sexual relations with a woman. I say it is good to stay unmarried as I do. But if they cannot control themselves, they should marry. For it is better to marry than to burn with passion.
Heart is deceitful above all things, and desperate
Do you not know that wrongdoers will not inherit the kingdom of God? Do not deceive, neither the second immoral, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor men who have sex with men, nor thieves, nor the greedy, nor drunkards, nor slanderers, nor swindlers will inherit.
Child, I had pride, but now that I'm older, I never deny anyone down for whatever ride. The grass always looks greener on the other side. Word life does speak of our forever high level. Us for companionship which never dies. You can tell my heart is broken, severed. I'm way too much of a bitch to too much of a many bad choices. Led to the day, chasing true love, listening to wrong voices. Don't ever follow your heart. It was natural, just do what you have to do to remain anointed. Tension and heartbreak cause anxiety and other mental health problems that's killer through. So in this distress, I'm blind my eyes, keep my eyes on the invisible. See, this volatile combination guaranteed I'd marry any bitch to not burn in lust. Us humans got this problem, and we need God to medicate. He created and in his wisdom made death the only cure. That's why I chase shit. Ever get a gift and the giver make a big deal about it and you're like, yeah, thanks, I guess you really didn't have to, but obviously wanted to. The more that I learn, the less that I know. My faith knows and my Bible knowledge grows. I try to believe and accept it like others do. I just don't. It's just that death, resurrection, salvation, redemption, grace, intercession, open gates to heaven. I try not to question, but blindly accept it. Cause I'm his invention. I maintain reverence in a system of getting forgiven. Always the plan to get profit in the end. And the cornerstone rock of my religion to me really isn't a big deal. Now, let's expound on some truths found in the Bible that are strongly enforced in the Old Testament, but still alive in the New.
also need to cross-reference parts of verse 2 and 3, like in 2 Kings and 2 Corinthians. We make excuses for believers like Genesis 1, Pharaoh, east of the age of conception, God's hatred against Zach, Noah, Adam, Job to the list. Remember this, other examples, too many that handle, please ignore that. At best you can do equal rights are clearly, unbiblically, unchristly died for all men. Get it? Ever read the Bible and say to yourself, do people really believe this bull crap? And then be like, oops, I can't call it crap because I believe it. Sorry, God. Alright, one more verse, let's go. Ain't no doctrine divine, the only God's will that I care about is mine. I'm God. It's Bible. You're just the very educated guess at the present time.
You seem happy, but happiness is of the devil. Happiness is for the weak. See, only the chosen ones.
2 years ago, a friend of mine asked me to say some MC rhyme, so I said this rhyme I'm about to say. The rhyme was different and it went this way. One day I took a test to become an MC, aced it. The judges said no, it's better than me. None. That's the life that I lead. Then I had a lot to speak on. I was backstage publishing Run DMC. Imagine a world where public nudity and weed illegal. I speak to the people in need of freedom, joy, love, peace, self-control instead of repeatedly breaking promises and resolutions to never be free like we mounted with eagle wings. Free from my childish and foolish things. I stood on stage with New Jordans on my feet, purple hair and a purple suit, and my dress shirt was pink. I start to tell peeps you are what you eat, mentally, physically, spiritually, metaphysically. So constantly, carefully examine what enters your gates and what you seek. You can't do this alone. You're gonna need homies to speak in love, wisdom, and honesty. Relationships and put open new abilities that I always had, but I wasn't able to see. When I finished my speech, I bowed gracefully as the crowd cheered for me, even though my message was brief. 2 years ago, a friend of mine asked me to say some MC rhyme, so I said the rhyme I'm about to say. The rhyme was different and it went this way.
Don't pretend that nobody told you when the fires come in here and start licking at your feet. You have two choices. You can repent and be punished, or you can live waiting for hellfire. Those of you who do not follow this message.
It is when says so. I'm like a big focus like Biz Market. Let me start the second verse. I'm blood boy. Christ forgive me from the curse. That's right. I wake up early to chase them skirts to get what I want till I put in work. I was a perverted priest. My Bible knowledge was deep. I understood doctrine and peeps said that I should teach. I had secular knowledge and scientific spiritual. I talked the talk, but wasn't walking in miracles. Wasn't walking. My life was like a data show. I put on a mask and that's for the people. So what if Peter's growth was a lie? Like when they said the dinosaurs didn't walk the earth with man. Like in the Flintstones, see after humans and God for bones, God for teach made seekers on the phone in the unknown. Some use technology which made them bionic. Some opened the brain for computer chip inserts. Now that the brain is connected to everything, I can turn things on and off by thinking. Download info straight into my brain, living in a place with a mind, the interface. One day I said a dream don't come true. I'm gonna praise you, all praises praise you, Lord. Anyway, that day I listened to the Juice Crew and think about the demons that I slew, that I used to constantly lose to, but now they're examples of victory. I have their heads on mantle. This truth is too cold to hold, too hot to handle. To do something new, we must first dismantle. What I'm saying is destroy before you create. I hear the crowd calling my name. I'm backstage, just about to have an OBE. I'm building my chief on altruistic using alchemy. But then a woman knocks on my door and enters and she says to me, go back on stage for his destiny. 2 years ago, a friend 2 years ago asked me to say some MC rhyme, so I said this rhyme. So I said this. The rhyme was different and it went this way. 2 years ago, a friend of mine said, David, says, can you say some MC rhyme? So I said this rhyme I'm about to say. The rhyme was different and it went this way. You suck.
Hey, you! Listen to me! Listen to me! I'm speaking, alright? I'm not messing around here.
style. We don't promote this lifestyle. This song is created to give homage to one of the greats. DWI with another one, y'all. Word to mother. And we gonna do it like this. I'm riding from my footsteps, thinking of a plan, looking like Raggedy Ann under one hand, kicking a can. Thinking of about to pull some bacon, because I'm devastated. So then my shoes waking, t-shirt is shrinking. Soon I see some dice in my eyes open wide quick. Who's that chick with? Named in my sidekick. What up, Black Gapes? Hand a smack. Up, post a Cadillac, your baby will be back. Jump out on the side, not too many people saw us. Thinking about who's gotta get robbed because the mob got a job for us. They drove us down to this other section of town where the clowns don't be paying for protection. They want us to send a message to Jimmy the bartender. Let the friend of money next to ripping off his car fenders. He's coming up short cause he thought coke, dope, hope he don't get caught. He owes some Benjamin Franklin's. Every last bit of him, but Jimmy's pockets are empty. So now we gotta get rid of him. I was told if his wife gets in the way, drop her. Hop out the backseat, they gave me a revolver. Leader, you distract him while I go and whack him. Enter through the backside of the bar and then attacked him. He's screaming for his life, reaching for his wife. Shot him in the back of the head and shake him with a knife. And that goes for anyone who gotta pay their dues. You lose cause I got the ill street blues. You lose cause I got the ill street blues. You lose cause I got the ill street. Effortless mastery isn't about sticking to rules, but making and breaking them while doing the same with your own. Suckers I clobber because my town is full of cops and robbers. You know promise tomorrow and this little shop of harvest. So I get with the business of hit quick, money grips, pockets look thick, so I slick stick. Hold it right there, hands in the air, I know you got the loot. Already I face down on the ground, empty your pockets true. Hit the deck, I got the tech out of your neck, and I expect to make a buck the heck for the traveler's check. But if a fake tries to choke me, I have to smoke him like I'm smoking the bear. So okie dokie, goodbye. I'm on voyage, have a good journey. Don't even try begging for your life, that don't concern you. So to the next freezer that freezes your bacon and your pleases. It's only get you closer to meeting Jesus. Yeah, I shake a smoke just to make a buck, then I break a duck. And if the duck gotta get bucked, then I don't give a fuck. Hypers are sank with piping niggas like a plumber. Cold figure to stick it up to one to run the numbers. Or even the biggest, call the lady in the liquor store. In the door is draw the 4-4 and I'm sticking it for. Money in life, honey, hurry up and choose, but you lose cause once I got the ill street blues. You lose cause I got the ill street blues. You lose cause I got the ill street. Most rap kings, musicians in general, have no creativity or intelligence. The companies make people stars, and the audience buys what they're told. From rags to riches, back to rags. Extra read about it in the papers. The boss tried to rape us, so we tossed him off the skyscraper. Because he brought some other people to try to hit us, get us. None of them did us. He must be trying to kid us. But that's dead off. They ain't got it in red cross the breadboarders, so nobody can short us. He fled down to headquarters, ready to put some work in. We're not a lazy fool, we do a job or two, but yo, the man can't even think we were some crazy goof. While he was sleeping, we were scheming and creeping on him. We took out all his lookouts in the front and kicked his door in. What up, snake? Why'd you violate? Homie was a hassa. That's a pig that don't fly straight. Get ready to jab him. I grabbed him by the necktie. We tried to get fly, that's when I gave him a deck die. You know the evil that men do, hell is where the men go. We snapped him by his hands and feet and threw him out the window. Up and away, cause I don't play clown. Fuck, take the with you all the way down. Homie, you got springs and waiting for your shoes, but you lose cause I got the ill street blues. You lose cause I got the ill street blues. You lose cause I got the ill street blues. You lose cause I got the ill street blues. You lose cause I got the ill street. Mastery starts after doing something 10,000 times. Revelation is gained through imitation. Effortless mastery appreciates and accepts one's gift, removes self and ego, open screen obedience to divinity. What has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. There is nothing new. The road ain't yellow and it ain't no bitches. My name is Dave, for instance, I'm on the road to the riches. He said, wait, I want to talk. I put his brains on the sidewalk. Many lives are cut short. That's when you're living in the streets of New York. I go through life for once and it's honey and nothing funny. It's a damn shame what I gotta do to get the money. This is anger, madness, ready to hang a rapper, a singer. I'm putting up my middle finger. Next up, busting right back in the trap. Give a flashback to Baby Savage.
Yet another murder mystery. It seems that entertainer David Winsett has been murdered. We have no information at this time.
Murder was the case that they gave me. Murder was the case that they gave.
I once knew a nigga named David Wyndham. His primary concern wasn't making a million. He wanted to be the illest rapper the world's ever seen. And in many ways, he's achieved those dreams. But the problem is, he ain't getting no cream. And the music he makes ain't making a scene. Damn. He's just another starving artist who is very skilled and can barely pay his bills. But one day, old me gets killed. And while seeing flashbacks of his life, everything became a white light. Then he sees a nigga dressed in white, who says it was things to do. In your eyes I see a fire that burns to free you. Dance with me. When Sam was scared, but then the devil responded because God wasn't there. The stage was centered, mood was mellow. Put on your best clothes when you dance with the devil. When Sam woke up in the hospital, everyone was praising God for this miracle. And when he left the hospital, the real miracle started. He started making money off of his music and his art. Indeed, a great proceed from addiction. He was free, never having want, never having need. They say he's greedy because he still wouldn't grow. And his true colors began to show. The devil rose in the hearts of the selfish and wicked. White, brown, yellow, and black color is not restricted. You have a self-destructive destiny when you're afflicted, and you'll be one of God's children who fall from the top. One day he's stuck through a hole trying to get laid, and niggas ran up on him, filling him with lead, but then he came back from the dead. Just remember who changed your mind. When you start set tripping, that ass is mine. Yeah, I feel you too for the things you do. In your eyes I see a fire that's burning to free you. It's running through. You decide you know that. See that plant grow up, big you'll see. And then it come down to me. That's right, baby. D-A-N-C-E. I was told if the devil wants to dance with you, you better say never, because dance with the devil will dance you forever. Look at them two doing the walks. Do the two-step to the music. And life when Sam was focused on the goal, not focused on getting his dick inside some pussy hole. He was changing lives on the road, teaching them how to transmute base metals into gold. Constantly when Sam was being told, thank you for teaching me how to let go. Listening to your teachings made my life better. You have a fan in me forever. At this time when Sam lived in a palace, when she brought for his mom and his kitty cat Candace, he was working out, eating right, and loving life, and loving Christ. He started preaching in different churches on Friday nights. They got a job at TBN, which was nice. Now he's a television pastor. At the same time, he was a rap star with a fast car and a private jet, really a couple cars and a couple jets. He said this is what God told him to get. And he spent years not even desiring sex. But then one day he meets a woman named Julie, and he is totally hypnotized by her beauty. She refused him when he asked her, but then he said, I'd do anything to have her. I can give you what you desire. I got a new contract, just sign up. This is where the wise man run. These contracts are signed in blood. His wet dreams made Winsand agree. A man who had sex is all Winsand wanted to be. So he signed the contract at a .03. I'm falling and I can't turn back. Not only her, but anyone who wanted to surrender. Winsand didn't give a damn about the consequences. He didn't even read the contract, he just signed. Because love is blind. Yeah, now we both got what we want. The man David Winsand was in love. Judy was a siren, causing him to driving to icebergs and Bermuda triangles. Love triangles, threesome. The woman was able to tell him no, so he became a demon. And the story becomes more deep because he would preach on TV at least 5 days a week. He'd go to other countries preaching on God's greatness. He'd have to preach to the meat and female of all ages. Everything Winsand wanted was provided for. He enjoyed life and didn't want to die no more. And he was helping other people enjoy life. There's a sister in the church who was praying fast for the soul of David Winsand because she can see the invisible, and knows why he's been so successful. The devil tries to keep her prayer silent, and his attacks on her are very violent. Objects be floating around in her house, and constantly the devil be trying to take her out. But the name of Jesus is always in her mouth. Since there's power in the name, the devil has to leave. But he'll return later, definitely. One day, Winsand and Julie were chilling out, watching the movie. Then the devil begins to speak. This is what you must do for me. Take that gun out the drawer. Go to this address and kick down the door. Kill everybody inside, and everything will be alright. And at first Winsand was in fear, that then he asked his girl Julie, Did you hear that? She says yes. They get dressed. And I think you already know the rest. The gun is cocked and they're driving down the block. At the same time, this woman is praying to Allah. 10 minutes later, he kicks down the door, runs upstairs, put the gun to her face. But she still prays for him. For him. Only God and the devil knows. What happens?
Step over into the future. Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed. A complete transformation by the renewing. If you knew what I dropped on you just there, you just be shouting right now. Dorothy, I want to tell you, you could have been home a long time ago. As soon as you decide to stop looking for answers in other people and miracles somewhere down the yellow brick road and click the heal to your mind and set your affections on things that are above, you could have been free years ago.
Could have been free years ago. True. That's what they told me, but I didn't know. Did I? I know it now and I'm dedicated to show others how to transmute into gold. Philosopher's stones cheat, magic heart order. I finished my sermon and got off the pulpit. My sermon was on how to overcome hurdles like Edwin, Moses. Everything was planned, but no one knows this. Later, I'm outside your window singing my serenade. Dee-dee-dee-dotty, dee-dee-dee-dee-dotty day. My love. Come on, honey, won't you please come out and play? Please. And of course, she made me wait. And of course. Now we're creeping, now we're creeping, now we're creeping. On my magic carpet, she took a seat then. Told me she was ready to go. Do you know how many times she has told me no? She never been on a violent phone with a nigga who can rap and control the maestro. We hopped to it like a kangaroo, and time and space we began to travel through. What I used to teach her, she didn't believe it. But anyway, our first destination was Egypt. We watched Moses part the Red Sea then. I told her that the mind is the battleground.
The mind is the battleground. That's where you're going to win it or lose it. And through distractions and through deception, that's where he's going to try to contain you and get you to buy the deception in order to keep you the same. Consider him, or lest you be wearied and faint in your mind. So if you give up, cave in, and quit, it's going to be in your mind where you give up, cave in, and quit. Watch your mind. Don't get weary and don't faint in your mind. Keep resisting. Keep fighting against it. Keep doing it. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a battle. You're gonna have to fight
to win. I remember losing the fight again and again, but now I win constantly and teach others how to do the same. Anyway, while time traveling, we would chit chat. She was sweet as a Kit Kat. She said, "Wind Chance, where did you get that beat from?" I told her I could pleasure her like DLC, no one could do it better. I dug her up like a pirate's treasure. Showed her she had beauty beyond measure. She's used to niggas that disrespect her. I told her, boo, you have no clue of what the great one David Winsand came to do. No clue. So just chill to the next episode, so I could teach you how to let go. You could have been free years ago. She looked at me and said, yeah, I know. Did we travel to the time before Genesis? We saw men riding dinosaurs in spaceships. Did we travel to another time, and another time, and another time? It's all space-time, like Einstein. She told me my love and friendship was a gold mine. I didn't ask, could I kiss her? In the back of my mind, I really wanted to lick her. She let me, then I proceeded to give her my all like Mariah Carey. When I was done, she was overjoyed and amazed. Then told me that was the best she ever had. We next went to Liverpool, where I watched her paint and then play the flute. But then she stopped and cried and told me that for so many years she's been suppressing her creative ideas. But around me, she's empowered, a goddess. So now we've got a problem.
because every single one of our five senses works by exactly the same program. Not one of them can tell us anything about what exists outside of that program. So, in order to know what surrounds us, what the greater reality is, we need to develop an additional sense. So what is it that moves things in reality? What makes things happen? Any motion is happening only as a result of that you have become uncomfortable where you are, that a need has evolved in you, has appeared, and you have moved to a new position or a new situation that you believe will bring you more pleasure than the one that
You don't say to your spouse, don't talk to me, I'm focused. You don't say to your children, leave me alone, I can't talk to you for a few years because I'm focused. But your mind, your will, and emotions are in agreement with each other. They are aligned, and that's going to give you the strength to carry you through to your objective. Certain things are going to have to endure that you really don't like, but you do them because you're focused. Forget about focusing. You're not willing to be disciplined. Discipline is the bridge between thought and accomplishment.
Incorporated presents The Art of Storytelling. When I'm sitting on my lunch break, grinning my teeth. It's the last day of the week, boy, what a relief. My muscles kinda ached, they felt rigid and stiff. So I looked around and I took a quick wax hit. Now I'm happy as can be, I'm in this pothead spell. I put some Vaseline in my eyes so that no one can tell. It's 12:55, almost time for the bell. Put the breakfast in my mouth so that the mouth don't smell. Let's go. Now back on the job, I don't bother no one. I keep strictly to myself and all my work is done. Now the job's finally over and it's time to have fun. And I'm hanging out with Egalindo and John. We was dressed in fresh gear anyway, us three. Went to the Latin quarters and we got in free. Scooping all the girls like nothing with my trunk jewelry. Cause I'm a fly brown brother and you can't school me. Slick Rick was performing, hey, he ain't no joke. And some brothers from Brooklyn was looking down my throat. Was it my big chains with the big plates on them? Then they rolled on me and told me to run them. This was the moment I feared. Hey, yo, homeboy, take off your chains. We gon' hurt you real bad. This was the moment I feared. Y'all don't hear me though. You are what you eat. As a man thinks, so is he. Illumination begins with imitation. I said they're really not real, they're just the girls. Then a whole bunch of fish just caved my world. I wasn't paying, so ashamed, I wish I had not came. I had to kindly pick up my face and ride back home on the train. Then I went to an open store where I bought me a water. Then I went to the park and I sat and I thought, I seen Daddy Boy, though he's with this girl named Sarah in one of his cars looking like a superstar. She calls out to me, but I really couldn't hear her, so I went a little bit closer so I could hear a little clearer. She said, I'm looking for the IHOP. Now tell them. I said I know where it's at because it's right next to my building. I gave them info, did they go on their way? I went home and then I slept till almost 4 the next day. Then someone knocked on my door. I opened up, no quick. It was Sarah with some magazines and a bag named Kit. She tried to use me and seduce me, and at first I wasn't with it, but we did it and we did it and we did it and we did it. She said it was great. She said she's glad we had done it. Then Animated came and Danny Boy was on it. This was the moment I feared. Hey yo, what the? What you doing with my girl, homeboy? This isn't what it looks like. I know you ain't just finished. Never let go of the dream. Determination is more important than skill. Imagination is more important than knowledge. But he was huffing and puffing and he swung me word. So I pulled up my jammy and I silenced the nerd. He was then 2 in the head. I took the cash in the V's and she said, don't worry about the thing, just make sure nobody sees us. Okay.